Hi, I'm Nuria Kearns and you're watching Property Box Weekly News. According to a new report by the Halifax, more and more young people are giving up on the idea of buying their own home, meaning that property ownership could cease to be the norm for the next generation. Unsurprisingly, London is the worst, with 82% of 20 to 45-year-olds saying they will never be able to buy a property. Whilst the rise in house prices has allowed the older generations to lock in large profits from their properties, it has blocked young adults from the market. The report found that the proportion of people saving for a deposit has dropped by 6 percentage points over the past year to 43%, and argues that Britain is seeing the emergence of a new demographic split between those who want to get on the ladder and those who say they don't. The research is based on interviews with more than 40,000 20 to 45-year-olds over the past 5 years, and more than 4,000 parents of that age group over the past 4 years. Are you struggling to buy? Tell us about this issue from your point of view. Estuary Housing Association, the social housing group, has borrowed £40 million from M&G Investments in a long-term financing deal that will allow it to build 400 homes over the next 3 years. Half will be built in London and the rest will be built in Essex. Paul Durkin, Chief Executive at Estuary, said, "This deal enables us to plan to grow our business with confidence, as the funding supports our development programme of over 100 new homes each year. The process of raising funds through a private placement was new to Estuary, and we are very pleased that we have been able to raise funds at a favourable rate that enables us to meet our social purposes through the provision of much-needed affordable homes in areas of acute need." Until 2007, housing associations generally relied on banks and the Housing Finance Corporation to meet their external funding requirements. In recent years, non-bank lenders such as M&G have been providing an increasing amount of longer-term finance as banks withdraw from this market. Australia real estate shows no sign of slowing down. 79% of auction properties sold last weekend, which is the second highest level in data going back nearly 7 years. However, Sydney and Melbourne dominate the figures, with the data showing prices are up 6.4% in Sydney compared to 3.9% gains in Melbourne. Other areas have not fared nearly as well, with a 0.1% rise in Brisbane and a 0.2% decline in Adelaide, and a 1.6% slide in Perth. Property analysts think that Sydney's overvaluation is probably the second highest overvaluation point they've ever recorded, the highest being back in 2003, when the market was about 55% overvalued. Beyond Sydney and some parts of Melbourne, there is generally not much upward momentum in the Australia housing market. And the US is aiming to improve access to home loans for first-time buyers. In December 2014, mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac announced they would reduce minimum down payments on certain mortgages from 5% to 3%. For someone buying a $150,000 home, the change means the difference between a down payment of $7,500 and $4,500. In January this year, the FHA announced it was reducing mortgage insurance premiums by 0.5%. The White House said the reductions would save the average home buyer about $900 a year and would enable about 250,000 people to buy a home. Brad Blackwell, Executive Vice President of Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, said he expects first-time home sales to grow less than 10% in 2015, but he said that would still be a meaningful increase. Does this affect you personally? Tell us about your experience. Last weekend, our Brick by Brick brand launched in Sydney. We had an incredible time meeting with potential students, and we are looking forward to helping Australians build their property portfolios. Did you attend one of the events? What did you think? Leave a comment below. And the US team raised $26,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation in March. The foundation exists to grant magical wishes to children fighting life-threatening conditions. We are proud of our contribution to this cause, so congratulations, US team. That's all for today. See you next week. Roll in. A brrr was new to Estuary. Estuary. Don't yawn, Dimitri. Paul Durkin. For someone buying a $105,000 home, forward to helping Australians build their property prosperity. I like a train, you know. It's 26. That was okay.
Yeah.
Okay.